let's transition to the AFC, and let's talk about the Chiefs win over the Jaguars. The Chiefs beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-20. For the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence went 24 of 39. He threw for 217 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. For the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes on one leg, he went 22 of 30. He threw for 195 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. And Andy Reid became the second best coach in NFL history when it comes to the most playoff wins by a head coach. Bill Belichick has 31 playoff wins. Andy Reid, he has 20 now. That's tied with Tom Landry. So some great company for Andy Reid to be a part of. Here was Andy Reid after the game.
The only head coach in NFL win
1-score games normally. So it's a high percentage, and so you buckle it up for 4 quarters.
We came with the mentality that we were going to have to play to the very end, and obviously we had some adversity through there with some injuries and stuff like that, but I was proud of how the guys responded and were able to figure out a way to get the win.
Everybody's locked in right now. I think if you looked at that team out there, you saw everybody communicating very well, coach team on all 3 phases. And when we play like that, we give ourselves a really good chance at winning.
Nobody expected us, the Jaguars, to be in this football game from the beginning of the season to today. And I just told them how proud I was of them for how they hung together all season long, how they battled, fought through a ton of adversity.
Just equal parts crushed by the loss and that our season ends here, and knowing how close we were. And then on the flip side, being proud of what we were able to do and accomplish and what we were able to overcome.
We're going to learn from this. We're going to grow from this. And, our expectation is to be in these games every year.
This won't be the last you guys hear of us, so we're going to be back.
That was the Jaguars and the Chiefs in the immediate aftermath of the Chiefs 27-20 win over the Jaguars. So this win for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs was just another testament and another proof of evidence, I should say, that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. He was sensational in this game. On one leg, Patrick Mahomes was able to will his football team to another win in the divisional round of the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes, this was before his injury. He was 10 of 12, 77 passing yards, 1 touchdown. His pressure percentage was 54%. After his injury, he went 12 of 18. He threw for 118 passing yards, 1 touchdown. His pressure percentage was 16%. Patrick Mahomes was sensational on one leg in this game. And Patrick Mahomes, even on one leg, is better than most quarterbacks in the NFL. This is why Patrick Mahomes here in a few weeks will be named the NFL MVP. This year, Patrick Mahomes, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 5,250 passing yards. He completed 67% of his passes this year. Patrick Mahomes is the undisputed best quarterback in the NFL. He's not only the best quarterback in the NFL, he's the best player in the NFL because he plays the most important position in the sport. even on one leg, the Jacksonville Jaguars couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes, he owns the divisional round of the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes is 5-0 in the divisional round of the playoffs, and he has 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, ladies and gentlemen, in the divisional round of the playoffs. Death, taxes, and the Chiefs getting to the AFC Championship game with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback are things that you can rely on in life. This dude gets it done time and time again. And for the longest, I made the argument that Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in the NFL because he won the MVP the last 2 years. It's not an argument anymore. Patrick Mahomes is the undisputed best quarterback in the NFL. Now, everyone's talking about this ankle injury and how it's going to affect Patrick Mahomes moving forward. Now, Patrick Mahomes had a similar injury in the 2019 season. He had an ankle injury, and it was against the Jaguars as well. And in the 2 games following his ankle injury, Patrick Mahomes was 2-0, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, averaging 409 yards passing per game. So even on a bum ankle, Patrick Mahomes is still better than 75% of the quarterbacks in the NFL. He was sensational in this game. But I got to show some love to the Chiefs defense in this game. Shout out to defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo of the Chiefs and that Chiefs defense. They did a great job in this game because I kind of got the feeling once Patrick Mahomes was injured, the Chiefs defense knew that they had to elevate their games to give their team a chance to win this game. I can't say enough about the job that Spagnuolo did with this defense. Snead, Bolton, Frank Clark, Chris Jones up front, Carlos Dunlap. Defensively, the Chiefs' defense showed up in this game. They really, really showed up. I thought overall, they did a pretty good job against Trevor Lawrence and a good Jaguars offense. They did pretty good. So I got to give them some credit. Now, when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jaguars, they had a great season. They finished the regular season 9-8. They won the AFC South. Trevor Lawrence made strides in his sophomore season under Doug Peterson. We see the difference in coaching from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson. It's a significant gap when it comes to head coaching in the National Football League. And we saw that with Trevor Lawrence in his play this season. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have a lot to build off of heading into next year. But I thought the Jaguars, they showed their youth in this game. They didn't execute very well, and they lost the turnover battle. I thought that's what was the key in the game because statistically, the game was honestly even. The Jaguars went 7 of 13 on third down. The Chiefs went 6 of 12. They had the same amount of rushing yards, 144 rushing yards. The Jaguars had 205 passing yards. The Chiefs had 218 passing yards. The Jaguars had 349 total yards. The Chiefs had 362 total yards. But I thought the difference in the game was the Chiefs won the turnover battle 2-0 over the Jaguars. I thought that was the biggest difference in the game. And the Chiefs proved why they are a championship battle-tested football team. And the Jaguars are an inexperienced but very talented playoff team. That was the biggest difference in the game. That was the biggest difference in the game overall. I thought there were opportunities for the Jaguars to get back into the game and possibly upset Mahomes on one leg. There were opportunities for the Jags, and they couldn't get it done. But they have a lot to build off of heading into next season. And one thing the Jaguars are going to have to do, they're going to have to prove that defense. I mean, they got to improve their defense. I mean, this year, I felt like that was their Achilles heel overall as a football team. We know offensively they got Trevor Lawrence, they got Travis Etienne, they got Christian Kirk, they got Zay Jones, they got Evan Ingram as well. But defensively, that was where they struggled. They gave up 365 total yards. That was ranked 23rd in the NFL. They gave up 239 passing yards per game. That was ranked 28th in the NFL. They gave up 43% of third down plays. That was ranked 29th in the NFL. So they have to get better defensively. That's where Doug Peterson and the Jacksonville Jaguars have to improve on in the offseason. I think they're going to be the favorites in the AFC South heading into next year because I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. I love Derrick Henry, but I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. I like Vrabel as a coach, but I don't like Tannehill as a quarterback that can lead you to a Super Bowl or even AFC Championship game. So I think the Jaguars will be the favorites heading into next season in AFC South, but they got to improve defensively. They got to improve defensively. But just another day at the office for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and another AFC Championship game appearance for the Chiefs. Again, death, taxes, and Mahomes having the Chiefs in the AFC Championship games are things you can depend on. Everybody go and follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_WH. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys. Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. Coming out the break, I'm going to recap the Eagles' 38-7 win over the New York Giants. I'll be right back.